Are you feeling a little stagnant after the winter, kind of in the doldrums, really ready for spring to get here? I think they call it spring fever. I know I am too. And one of the things that you can do that really helps that and helps even out that feeling of maybe kind of boredom, whether it's seasonal or chronic, is to instill a culture of creativity in your team. So it's really important to have creativity in your team. And I don't think people realize that. But having a culture of creativity means creating the space for your team members to be creative regardless of the situation. So there are a few benefits to having a culture of creativity. The first benefit is that your employees will be more fulfilled. People like to be creative. The urge to create is one of the most primal urges in humanity, right after the need to eat and have shelter and belong. Self-expression is right after that, creativity. So we're not in a culture where we're worried about having enough to eat really or a place to live. So creativity is a fairly important thing. So if you promote a culture of creativity where people have the ability to come up with their own solutions and problem solve on their own, you will have a more fulfilled workforce. The second thing it does is it helps you innovate. This may be a big duh, but when you have this culture of creativity, then people aren't afraid to try new things. If you have ever gone to work for a place where the answer to every question of why do we do it this way is because we've always done it this way, then you know how stagnant that can be. When you instill a culture of creativity, people aren't afraid to try new things. Whether they fail or succeed, they've at least tried something new and they know that they can get out of whatever rut they're in. That's part of instilling the culture. When people try something and fail, you don't criticize them. You just congratulate them for finding one way that didn't work. And now they can look for other ways. So having a culture of creativity brings your staff more fulfillment. It allows them to innovate. And I think most importantly, it allows your staff to be resilient. When you have a culture of creativity and people are used to having to be creative and think things through and look for new options, they aren't as rattled by change. When changes come, it doesn't throw them for a loop because they feel like they can handle it, because they know they've navigated change successfully in the past. They know they have the tools to be creative and innovative no matter what situation they're put in. So if you are in a culture that is a little stagnant and maybe not all that willing to take a risk, try promoting a culture of creativity. Ask your people to be creative, reward them when they are, don't criticize them when they try something and fail, and see how quickly you'll start to notice that this culture of creativity starts to bring about changes throughout your organization from the whole all the way down to the individual.